Good afternoon, everybody. What an honor and a privilege to be here. Certainly thankful for Sister Carolyn Tweedy, who is such, a tremendous, angelic, powerful presence here at St. John's Bread and Life, and so appreciative of all she does for the community, feeding more than 400,000 people and families in our community. That's amazing. And we're thankful for the work that you and your entire team has done. When I was on my way in, I was asked by staff, "Are you going to take the jacket off?" I said, "No, I'm trying to blend in with the St. John's Bread and Life color." Yes. Because your values are, get me a sweatshirt next time. But your values certainly are American values, and our values are your values, and we're so appreciative of the work that all of you do, and certainly to Leslie Gordon and the Food Bank for New York City. Thank you for your powerful words, for your leadership and partnership, for your commitment to making sure that no one in our great city, the greatest city in the world, goes hungry. These are very challenging times that we confront, and we know that people are struggling with the high cost of living in our community, in our city, and across the country. And no one in America, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, should ever go hungry. No one. But we know, unfortunately, that the reality is very different. And that we've got some forces within the government who, instead of addressing the fact that there are millions of people in our country who are food insecure, are making things worse. Earlier this year, there were a group of people who passed what we refer to as the One Big Ugly Bill. And in it, not only did they rip away Medicaid from 14 million people, triggering a wave of hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing, setting that painful reality in motion. In the same toxic piece of legislation, they enacted the largest cut to SNAP in American history, ripping $186 billion in nutritional assistance from hungry children, seniors, families, and veterans. It was a shameful thing, and we're working hard, and we'll continue to do everything possible until we get those toxic SNAP cuts reversed. Until we get those reversed. We know in the midst of this affordability crisis, people are struggling with housing, people are struggling with health care, and people are struggling with food. And having to make decisions about whether to put food on the table, pay the rent, get access to the medicine that they need to live a dignified life. That's unacceptable in this great country. It's also one of the reasons why we're so thankful for St. John's Bread and Life, for the Food Bank, and for the work of these great organizations that we will continue to support. Thankful for what they do during the holiday season, but this is work that is done each and every day, each and every month, year after year. And as the member of Congress from this great community, I pledge to continue hard to support it. Last thing that I'd mention is that in this community, proud to have grown up in Crown Heights, continue to go to church in Bedford-Stuyvesant, right down the block where my grandmother lived for a long period of time, that we've seen tremendous progress as it relates to some of the violence issues that our community has suffered throughout the years, homicides and gang-related violence and things of that nature. And we know there's still progress to be made in those areas. But it's always been the case that in our community, right here in central Brooklyn, that more people have always died from drive-throughs than drive-bys. It's always been that case. More people in our community have died from drive-throughs than drive-bys because of the lack of access to affordable, healthy food, triggering a wide variety of illnesses, from hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, other forms of heart disease, obesity that creates all sorts of health complications. More people in our community continue, and it's always been true, died from lack of access to healthy food, fruits and vegetables, nutritious meals that is affordable than they have from gun violence or other things that have plagued our neighborhoods. That's why making sure that we continue to support organizations like St. John's Bread and Life, Food Bank for New York City, and others will continue to be a high priority until we can bring about the moment in this great community, in this city, in this country, where not a single family ever goes hungry. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving. And it's now my honor to yield to one of my great partners in government, a longtime advocate for the communities of Central Brooklyn, who's doing a tremendous job as our representative in the state legislature, Assemblywoman Stephanie Zinnerman.
Thank you to our congressman and for what I call the miracle on Lexington Avenue, St. John's Bread and Life. Congressman, thank you so much for your leadership. Nobody could do your job. It is hard going to work every day to have to fight for people to have a moral code, the decency to just have resources for people to have food on the table, a good job, and health care to take care of their family. So I want us all to just give him the strength that he needs to continue to go back to Washington to do that big fight for us. What he does makes my job in the state assembly a lot easier, because he makes sure that we get the resources so that my work on the agriculture committee is easy. That's how we were able to get free breakfast and lunch in our schools this year. He makes sure that we have the funding to support our 27, going on now 33 community farms and gardens. He is the reason why we are able to fund programs in our schools. We've got 15 out of 19 of our schools growing food either hydroponically or in soil. He is the reason why we are able to support St. John's Bread and Life. If you don't remember anything that you hear today, I just want to lift up my sister's story. The fact that she found a home in this place. She came here to volunteer. And it's something that people who live in Bedford-Stuyvesant do all the time. We volunteer at our churches, at our pantries, and our schools to make sure that the 56th Assembly District, Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights, is a vibrant community for people to live in. And she found a home here just by volunteering, and now she is giving back what St. John's gave to them. And so remember that spirit. Continue to fight for families like hers. I think everybody in this room has a story of when they did not have enough for their families, but somebody stepped in and took care of them. So our job is to go and fight in Albany and in Washington for the resources for each and every one of you, and know that when you don't see us, we are talking about how we can make sure that Brooklyn can thrive. So thank you all, and let's continue to do good work together.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Jillian, for your story, for sharing it with us, for pouring into this wonderful organization, and in doing so, pouring into the community. I think we can take some on-topic questions, and then Stephanie and I will be willing to take any off-topic questions immediately afterward.
So talking about food insecurity, Mayor Alexo Armandani has supported city-owned grocery stores in order to tackle this issue. What is your opinion?
Well, I look forward to having a conversation with him. We speak frequently, but look forward to having a conversation with him about that particular policy proposal. I do think that his emphasis on affordability overall, which includes housing, transportation, and food, is exactly the right point of emphasis at a moment in time like this for the city of New York. All right, well, thank you, everybody. And again, thank you to all the program participants. Thank you to Sister Tweedy for her incredible leadership of this incredible organization. And certainly, Leslie, thank you for your presence and for your leadership. To Jillian, to Stephanie Zinnerman, who does a great job partnering with us. And we just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a happy and safe holiday season.
Happy holidays.